Hello, it's Crafty Carol here with another little video. People have loved some of my recent videos. Thank you all for any comments you've put in. And I was making these little tea light boxes and somebody made a comment as to how to adjust the size so it might fit something else. So I've just got here a few other little boxes, similar sorts of ideas. Again, just a lift up lid one there, little tiny, I don't know, little perfume box or something there, and one I made with my friends in Berlin, wonderful people in Berlin. Again, a little slide out box here. So you can make boxes of any different size or sort or whatever. These ones that I'd made in the video, these were just to contain 3 little tea lights, the battery operated tea lights. So I thought I'd just go through the process for how you work out the size of your card that you need to make your box. So we're going to just make this simple type of box again, which is just a simple card base that contains the item and then a fold over DSP bit for the top. So I'm going to try and draw it out on this paper to show you what I mean. So I'm going to make a box. I'll show you how I would start off the process of making a box. And this time I'm going to use some ordinary little tea lights. These are just the plain ones that you light up. So how I start is I'm going to start by measuring. So I'll measure in inches and convert it into centimetres if I can. And the first thing to do is to put your item, whatever it is, down and measure the length that would enclose it. So that, if you can see, 4.5 here, I hope you can see in the camera, that if we start it there, 4.5 inches would take it to there. So 4.5 inches is my length. So we'll write that down. Length is 4.5 inches. And 4.5 inches is, got to work it out on this, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. It's about 12 centimetres. Okay. Let me just check that by measuring it in centimetres as well, and then we can see. Yeah, 12's a little bit big, so probably 11.5 I'd go. 11.5. Okay. So we measure the length. Then we do exactly the same thing to measure the width. So if I do the centimetres first, that's 3.5 centimetres. Oh, hitting my camera. That was really stupid. 1.5 inches. So the width is 1.5 inches. What did we say that was? Measure it again, honestly. Yeah, about 4 centimetres. But you'd measure your own thing. This isn't a set box. It's to make a box to fit something. So I've got 6 of these here. So I also need now the depth. So to measure the depth, if I was making it for 1 tea light, then 1/2 inch is actually fine. So it's 2 inches or a bit more. Sometimes it can be a little bit more because obviously we've got the wicks as well. So yes, I would go there 1.25 inches high. So 1.25 inches, or for 1, yeah, I'd probably go about, I would probably go 5/8 of an inch. So height, 1 tea light is 5/8 of an inch, and 2 tea lights was, I've forgotten already, 1.25 did we say? Yeah, 1.25 inches. This is why I write everything down, because I'm far too old to remember it. So we've written down everything we need there. Those are the sizes we need. So that height one is important because that's the depth of the box, and I'll explain why that's so particularly important as I draw this out. So if I'm going to use a pen to draw it out, so just schematically, I'm not going to measure it. If we draw it out, and we would say, just draw this quickly. So the base of any box that we make is going to have to fit the tea lights. So that would be, we said 4.5. Oh, my pen's running out now. That's not good. Okay, change pen. So that would be 4.5 inches that way and 1.5 inches that way. Remember, we made both those measurements. Then our height measurement, so that would fit, this isn't to scale, but that would fit those 3 things. So to make a box, we obviously need sides of a box as well. So we look here and just open this box. So we have the basic measurement for the base. Then we have the height on all 4 sides. So we measured the height. If we're going to make it for, let's do it for 1, no, we'll do it for 2. We'll do it for 2, for the 6 tea lights. So for the 2, then our measurement that we made was 1 1/4 inches. That means we need 1 1/4 inches here and here. So that's the 2 sides of the box. So that's 1 1/4 inches each side. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm doing? Please do ask in the comments if you're struggling. So 1 1/4 each side, and we also need 1 1/4 at each end to form the ends. So we also need a piece each end, which is 1 1/4 inches. And same here. Putting the dotted lines in because that's where you're going to score when you've cut your bit. So with completely unstraight sides, which obviously we're going to cut properly when we cut it, we can now work out how big a piece of card we need. So that would be 4 1/2 inches wide plus 2 lots of 1 1/4, which is 2 1/2, which, if my maths is right, and I really should have checked this before, is 7 inches. So that would be 7 inches wide. This way we've got 1 1/2 plus 1 1/4 plus 1 1/4, which is 4 inches, isn't it? 1 1/2, 3 3/4, 4, 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. Yeah, going mad. 4 inches. So this box needs to be a bit smaller than the one I actually did for the tea lights, which makes sense because these aren't as big. If we put those against that box, you'll see, if I'd made the same size box for these, can you see how I've got about 1/2 inch difference, which is exactly what I would expect because we've just done the measurements. So that's how you measure how big your item is. So if you had another item, I don't know, perhaps a different sort of candle or a different item or whatever, measure the length, the width and the height. They're the 3 measurements you need. And to work out how much card or paper you need, then you need to work out the measurements you've done for the length and the width plus the height on all 4 sides. So I hope that's clear, and that's how you make how you work out how big a box to make for things. So let's check if I've made this right. I'm going to make the same sort of box as I made last time, so we'll rush through some of the making of it in the video, but I'm just, I've put all my boxes on top of my trimmer. That's just typical, isn't it? So if I need to get my pieces right, so I need a piece of card 7 inches by 4 inches. So let us just cut that. So we have 4 inches by, I need to open out my trimmer. I love that this opens out so easily to do the measurements. 7, and that is the size of card I need. And I need a piece of pattern paper exactly the same. So we need it 4 inches. This is from the Painted Christmas again. I'm really loving this paper to make my boxes this year. 4 by 7. So there we go. That is our bits made. So those are the size of the bits we need for these, and you can test it by putting those in the middle and look if it looks about right, and it does. So all we need to do now is do our scoring, and because I've written it out like this, I've actually worked out where my scoring needs to be, which is 1 1/4 inches in from each side. So if I get my scoreboard out, let's show you that. So we have 1 1/4 inches, so we work along the top, 1 1/4, and we're just going to score that, and we do that on all 4 sides. 1 1/4. Whoop. When I'm trying to do this slightly away from me, I always make a mess. There we go. And that can be the back of the box where I made that mess. There we go. So 1 1/4 inches each side. And we do exactly the same with the paper. 1 1/4 inches, being a bit more gentle with the paper because I don't want to damage the paper. 1 1/4. And the final 1 1/4. Oh, that wasn't straight. There we go. So that is, just put that away. Those are my score lines. And as before, we'll make up the box. So I'm going to start off by folding and scoring those lines. Sorry, and burnishing those lines. So that's, got to decide which bit I want as the top. I think I quite like that. That's nice too. Nah. I might have that as the top. In which case I just need to fold these the other way. Right, then we're going to cut it and make it up as before, and I will rush through this bit of the video because how to do this is on the other video I made. So that's the box put together, so we can test that out and check we've got our measurements right. Ooh, go away ribbon. And there you have it. There you can see that the box just fits beautifully those tea lights that we measured. So there we go. I'm going to go on and finish this very quickly just to show the top being put back on. But that is how to make a box to fit a particular size. Hope you enjoyed that. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you want more information, go to my website craftycarolscards.co.uk. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.